What is poppin'? 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 What is going on? What is poppin'? 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 What is going on? How you doing? How you looking? How you living? How you feeling? It is another NFL Sunday morning rundown, Saturday edition, because we have a Germany game on tomorrow morning. Going to be a great one to continue on to Week 9, fellas. Week 9 is here already. Season needs to slow down just quite a bit, man. But Spence, your Jags are on a bye. Knipe, your Niners are on a bye.
Yeah,
how are y'all feeling tonight, man?
Pretty good, man. It's a good record. It's the best record we've had in, about 20 years, maybe a little bit longer than that. So excited. I mean, it's going to be tough coming out of the bye. We play Knipe's Niners, so it should be a really good game. But yeah, I'm feeling really good about where we're at right now. Little bum that we couldn't bring in another pass rusher from the free agency, or from the trade deadline. But maybe we'll just have a couple guys that are coming back from injury play a little bit better. So overall, pretty good.
Yeah, Niner fans. So yeah, this week we get to chill. We get to only worry about fantasy, which is great. But yeah, I mean, we got to come out of the bye week if we want to be taken seriously. We got to beat some serious teams, and the Jags are a serious team. So it's gonna be a great match. I don't think it's gonna be easy no matter what way it goes. But man, I can't wait to go there with everybody. It should be awesome. It should be a fun environment.
Yeah, man, I'm jealous. I might find a way to go to that game too.
I'm sure you'll end up there.
My Packers are still in the cellar of the league, but it's always a new week upon us. Hopefully we turn it around. Speaking of turnarounds, your boy turned it around last week in the pick'ems right there. Woo! 12-3 on your head top.
Damn, bro.
Climbing that I'm
We're one
game
game
behind.
different now.
Yeah. Spence was second. He sent me his picks. He went 11-4. He got his upset of the week correct. It was Panthers over the Texans. What was yours again? I know you picked the Panthers as well, but I don't know if that was your upset of the week.
That wasn't my upset of the week. I watched the episode like 2 days ago too. I can't remember. I forget. I don't know.
And then I got mine. Finally, the curse is broken. The Bengals did it. They were my upset of the week against the Niners.
Yeah.
And now I'm 1-7. So take that with a grain of salt, everybody. But hey, we looking up from here, man. Shout out to Robert, the Ace Avenue, Spence, and Jacob, the pre-live crew in the house. What is going on, everybody? Happy Saturday evening to you all. And let's get it going, boys. Let's go. Let's start this off.
I'd just like to point out we're all above 500 on the picks. So, that's pretty good.
Yeah, we are.
We're pretty good.
Yeah, we are looking pretty good right here, man.
Yeah.
I'm just a couple of guys talking football. You know what I'm saying?
A couple guys.
We know a couple things or two.
Just giggling. That's why people got, we're just giggling, talking about so-and-so.
Yeah, man. Hey, it's been a fun season. I'm glad that we've been doing this we haven't missed a week yet, so I'm glad we're keeping it consistent and keeping on going on. Let's touch on the Thursday night football game real quick before we jump into Sunday's slate. The Steelers pulled it off. It was an ugly game. We saw Will Levis, his second career start, and he had 2 weeks to get prepared for, against the Falcons, but he only had 3 days to prepare against the Steelers. He looked pretty good. Titans just offensively, they just look laggish at times, but the Steelers find a way to get it done. Again, Kenny Pickett, I know he had a terrible game, but he led that team and led that, last fourth quarter drive to win the football game. Spence, what was your takeaway from this game?
Yeah, Pickett, he just keeps doing it, for those fourth quarters. He's just he looks very mediocre most times. I'm starting to hate him as much as Knipe does. Really overthrow, underthrow. Who is he throwing it to sometimes? You just really don't know what's going on. And it's kind of funny because you don't know who to blame over there for why the offense isn't working. The fans blame their offensive coordinator, but I've seen the guy miss a ton of throws. But for some reason, fourth quarter comes around, and he's serviceable, sometimes better. Will Levis, 2 games in, he's looked a lot better than I wanted him to look. We'll just put it that way. He's looked a lot better than I wanted him to look. He's been decent enough. It was tough to root for the Steelers here, but obviously Titans divisional opponent. I hate that team. So I was rooting for the Steelers a little bit, although I don't particularly enjoy their team either. But overall, I think it was one of those offensive sloppy games. What can you do? They drop another game. We keep creating a separation in the division. So,
yeah. What was your takeaway, Knight?
I'm tired. All right. Levis is for real. I like the way he looks, man. I think that having AR and Levis in y'all's division is and Stroud, like y'all got competition in that division now, man. Tennessee fans, at least you can be happy about that. You know, you lost, but I still think you won because your quarterback looked. I mean, for a second game on the road in prime time, like that didn't look as bad as I thought it would. And it actually looked better than I thought it would, even though he didn't, have a touchdown pass. But yeah, good job, Titans. Just didn't do enough. Steelers have always found a way to win ugly. I'm not surprised. That's the stat line. Kenny Pickett 160 and 1, and he throws an important one. Yeah, he's my future backup pick. So good job, Tomlin. Keep figuring out ways to win, but it's not because of Kenny. It's in spite of him, and it's in spite of Matt Canada. But yeah.
Yeah, Warren looked good. I think he was very explosive on the Steelers side of the football. I mean, Najee Harris got that touchdown, but he just really didn't have anything going. It was all Warren getting those big plays. The big takeaway was, of course, George Pickens. The guy got upset. He says, "Free me" on IG. He wants to get cut. He wants to get released. I mean, it was a little too late to say "free me." The trade deadline passed, buddy. Like, you're a little too late. Yeah. So
I don't get how he gets to say that after the attempted catch that was. That to me seems nearly like how does his brain operate that way? Like what? Like
it's a plain effort thing too. It was a plain effort thing. Like there's no reason why he could have got that other foot in bounds.
Yeah, I feel like, dude, like
didn't try enough.
This is your only job. Like this is what you do every day of the week. You study this. You know what you have to do, and like the picture you sent in the chat, Max, was so mind-boggling, and like how much room he had to hit his foot down. It seemed impossible not to, and he figured out a way to do it. I was like, wait, what? And dude, Tomlin's look of disappointment was hilarious. I love that they got his face because I was like, dude, I mean, not hilarious for him because I feel bad because he's an amazing coach. But like it was just funny because of like the lack of effort. But yeah, and then to say that stuff after is just silly.
Yeah, and then one piece of advice to Pickens would be do better, George.
Yeah. There was a video footage of him also when Deontay Johnson finally scored that touchdown, like for the first time since 2021. Everybody rushed up to him, was cheering him on. You saw George Pickens on the opposite side of the football field running off, like just not caring.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, so do better, George. Do better. Let's move on to tomorrow's game, Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern time. We have a doozy on our hands. We have the Dolphins taking on the Chiefs over there in Germany. It's going to be a fun one to watch. We saw the Dolphins lose to the Eagles. So my main concern is, can this team beat a good team? Can they do it? We just saw the Chiefs lay a goose egg against the Broncos last week. Nobody thought that was going to happen. The Broncos held them to 9 points. But I don't know, man. There's question marks with the Dolphins. It's a little revenge game for Kareem Hunt. For Tyreek Hill. But I don't know if you saw this. Did you know that the Chiefs planned this so Tyreek Hill wouldn't get booed in Arrowhead?
Dude, you don't believe that, do you?
I don't know. I was like, really? I don't believe that at all. But
no fucking way.
I'm like, come on now. I don't think he would get booed anyway, but Chiefs are favorites, 1.5 point favorites in Germany. The over-under is 50.5 points. I like the Chiefs here, man. The Dolphins, they got to show me something. If they can win this game, that will tell me something about this team. But until then, bro, they beat up on the bad teams, and they just don't really come to play against the good teams. So I got the Chiefs winning on a bounce back game against the Dolphins here on a good game.
Yeah, I'm fired up about this one. Early morning game. Get your Sunday started. Maybe have a couple mimosas or have a coffee. Whatever your morning routine is on game day. You get to start a little earlier. You get to, if you got fantasy implications going on with that, you're fired up about what your team might, how ahead you could possibly be before.
Little stinker tinker.
And this one here should be a super high scoring game, super fast paced game. I'm excited to see it. I'm a defensive guy. I love good defense, but I also get pretty excited when I see two teams like this. They're going to tee off on each other. So I'm excited to see that. And I do think Tyreek Hill is going to have something to prove. So
who you got?
I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Okay.
I say all that.
He said Tyreek Hill is going to have a great game. He's going to destroy these guys.
The way you
I got the Chiefs.
cliffhangered that stuff, man.
I'm going to take the Chiefs. I'm no dummy. I'm rooting for the Dolphins, though, because I'd rather leave it on the line, seeding implications.
Okay. All right. I see what you're saying. Man, so I thought about this game a lot today just because I knew I was doing the show tonight. So I was like, man, what am I going to pick for this game? Like, this one's fun. It's hard to pick. I feel like the Chiefs, because of what happened last week, if they would have steamrolled the Broncos, I would have gave the Dolphins the edge here just because of momentum and whatnot. Going back the other way, but I just feel like Patrick Mahomes, after taking an L to the Broncos, is not going to take another L, especially in front of a bunch of people that want to see football be played at a high level. Not that we don't here in America, but like, how many times have we played in Germany? Just a handful.
It's the second time last year. The Bucks
and dude, they get a freaking game of the year type of potential. That's pretty cool for them over in Frankfurt. So you're welcome. But let me get the Chiefs because Patrick Mahomes in this narrative, like, there's no way he takes the L, right? Like, just based on who he is, what he does, he's been there before, like those big moments. This is another like big game, big moment, and I trust him in this situation. I feel like he'll figure out how to get it done.
Yeah, and it was it Rams Chiefs in Mexico or was it Bills Chiefs in Mexico? It was Rams Chiefs. Yeah, it was like a 42, 45 point game. That was this could be one of those kind of games.
I hope, dude.
That game was great.
If you have any fantasy guys in this game right here, you're gonna be loving this morning game.
Fire 'em up.
Oh yeah. Appreciate you, Nelson, for that $1 dono. How you doing, my guy? French is in the house. Leaving my place at 9. All right, Hedda. What's up, French? But yeah, we're all on the Chiefs, huh? Okay. I like how we're starting tonight. I like this.
I hope we're all wrong.
What, do they just tie it? What how crazy would that be if it ended in a tie?
I love it,
dude. No.
I would love it.
That would be insane.
For seeding implications.
No, please
take that. For seeding implications.
Yeah, for you. Yeah, you really would need.
You don't even know yet. You have no idea yet. We're like halfway through the year. Like, Niners could be out of the playoffs. Like, we both could lose our quarterbacks. We don't know what the hell's going to happen.
Whatever helps though.
Okay.
Let's move to the 1 o'clocks. We're all awake. We're a little tipsy, maybe off mimosas. We're wide awake from coffee. We're feeling good. You know what I'm saying? It's red zone's kicking off. Vikings, Falcons are the first game we're touching on. We have a lot of injuries. A lot of stuff has happened to this Vikings team over the course of the week. Of course, we saw Kirk Cousins go down, torn Achilles. Wish them nothing but the best, man. They came off a good win against the Packers. Torn Achilles, going to miss the remainder of the season, probably half of next year as well. Well, it depends because we saw Aaron Rodgers. He might come back and play this season from a torn Achilles. So I'm pretty sure Kirk Cousins is probably going to hit up Aaron Rodgers and ask for the same, cert, the doctor and stuff like that. But they do trade for Josh Dobbs. They give a 5th or a 6th round pick for him. I forgot what they gave up for him, but he's not going to be able to play yet. Of course, you got to learn the playbook. So they are rolling out Jaron Hall, the rookie out of BYU. We saw him a little bit last week. Vikings on the road, 4-point underdogs to another team going through a quarterback change just because they flat out benched them. The Falcons benched Desmond Ritter, so we're going to see Taylor Heineke as the starting quarterback for the Falcons. Could be a whole new offense for the Falcons with Heineke, or it could just be the same old Falcons with Arthur Smith. This game is going to be very, very interesting. I don't know who to pick in this game because, both these teams have burned me in the past. But I'm going to go with the Falcons here at home. I think Taylor Heineke, that offense for the Falcons, maybe hopefully they can get it. They can wake up. Arthur Smith can pull his own head out of his own ass and, dial up a nice play call. They're at home. They're 3-1 at home, but the Vikings are 3-1 on the road as well. This could be a very interesting game. Give me the Falcons because I'm rolling with the home team and I'm going with the more experienced quarterback in Taylor Heineke here.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say was Heineke has much more experience. I mean, he went toe-to-toe with Brady at one point in a playoff game. They ultimately didn't win that, but, I mean, I'd like to think that the Falcons have a lot more firepower on offense than that Washington team did. So maybe he can do something with it. I like Heineke a lot more than Ritter, obviously. I'd like to know where Vegas would have this line if Ritter was still the starting quarterback. Would it be a 4-point or would it be a lot closer to a push?
I would assume it'll be 4 points still, just because they're at home and the Vikings they're going with a backup quarterback, so it'll probably still be a 4-point line.
Let me ask you this: does the Dobbs thing do anything for you? As a Packers fan, does that make you any more nervous that the Vikings could still be good? Because in my mind, it's okay, why didn't you just start the rookie?
Well, I think if Jaren Hall goes out here and just balls out, I'm pretty sure it's his job to lose.
Okay,
but they have Nick Mullins also coming off injury, so right now they only had one quarterback on the roster, so they had to do something. They could have just signed Colt McCoy, something like that. I guess Colt McCoy is trash. I guess nobody wants him because he's been a free agent the whole season. But that's my thing. I think Dobbs, just being a veteran, he has a lot of starting experience. It could just be a nice little veteran to help out with Hall.
Right. Yeah. But so I'm going to take the Falcons at home. I just think that they're going to be able to get a little bit more. And the Vikings are going to have to find their footing with this new quarterback coming in. So take the Falcons. Hopefully Bijan has a big game. A lot of people have been waiting for a crazy monster game from him. So we'll see.
Oh, man.
I know what I was doing with that one.
All right. So, I mean, the Falcons this one's tough because only for the simple fact of the Falcons just lost to a random rookie quarterback who just had his first NFL debut. And not that I knew it, I knew at least somewhat, and I've seen a little bit of Will Levis, just as far as highlights and a few things here and there. I've never even heard of this other dude. Who is it? Jaren Hall?
Yeah.
Okay. BYU. Don't know who he is. Don't know what school. Don't really care. There's no way that's going to be he's going to be like that Chicago Bears kid, right? We all didn't know who the hell Bajan was or Bagnet, whatever the heck. But I feel like that's the situation we're in here. So, while I feel like the Vikings won't go down easily because their defense has shown that they're at least able to keep them in ball games, I feel like the Falcons are just going to eke them out. It's going to be an ugly game. I don't feel like there's going to be a lot of scoring. I could definitely see both teams having under 20, nobody reaches 20, 19-16 or something,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I see for the Falcons, barely eking out on a young Waku, last second field goal if you want. But yeah, give me the Falcons by 3.
Okay. Yeah, we have a lot of quarterback changes this week. It's gonna be a very interesting week, and we're gonna go down and talk about that. The Cardinals are on the road to the Browns. Deshaun Watson is going to be active in this game. He's finally back. He hasn't played in 3 weeks. PJ Walker came in there and basically stole his job mid-game, and then we didn't see Watson for the last 3 weeks after that. Now, is it the injury or was it his play? Because the way Watson was playing, it didn't look pretty. Yeah, it was awful. But going on the flip side of things real quick, the Arizona Cardinals trade away their starting quarterback in Josh Dobbs. Kyler Murray is not active yet. He should be back next week. He's been practicing, but they didn't activate him yet, so he's not going to be able to play. I forgot. I don't even know the name of this quarterback, man. Oh, I got to look this up real quick.
Clayton Tune.
Huh? Oh yeah, Tune.
See, I knew who that was at least.
Yeah, well, still, it's like what we're gonna see guys like we'll probably never see again play this week. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Cardinals are 11-point dogs on the road. They are just derailed. James Conner's still not active. This team is just beat up. Throw the white flag in. You already know they're tanking for Caleb Williams if they're just flat out trading Josh Dobbs away midseason, even though Kyler Murray is going to be back. But, I mean, come on. Give me a break. Browns having one of the best defenses in the league. This game is going to be ugly, man. Give me the Browns. This might be a shutout. Myles Garrett, he might have a day. He might have a day, y'all. This is my hot take of this week. Myles Garrett will have 4 sacks in this game. 4. We already seen a 6-sack performance by Khalil Mack. So I think Myles Garrett is going to have a monster game here, and I think the Browns are going to easily take care of business at home.
Yeah, the Cardinals actually lost by more than 11 points yet this year, though. I think most of their losses been pretty close.
Last week, I think.
Last week they got blown out.
No,
Okay.
they were within.
They only lost by 7.
They lost by 7.
They got blown out by the San Fran.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that any of that matters, though, because Josh Dobbs was their quarterback at the time. We got no idea who Clayton Tune is. I'll take the Browns. I don't know what else there is really to say about this. Watson's going to come out and play. I'd like to see Watson throw a couple interceptions and then them just get him the hell out of there and just admit that they have made the worst mistake in NFL history with free agency to bring him in for $280 million fully guaranteed. Like that is
230,
insane.
240.
Whatever the money was, it was insane money. And what he did and what he's done now with his play is going to drive back fully guaranteed contracts in the NFL by like a decade, another decade before anyone sees this kind of money, because they're going to go, look at Deshaun Watson. Look what that guy did. He got all that money and he said, you know what? I'm not really good at quarterback anymore. I don't care enough to play. You know, personally, I don't like the guy. Obviously, that's we'll just get that off the plate. But like, the dude hasn't been playing good football either. So yeah, give me the Browns at home. You all settled in tonight?
What happened?
Here, let me just do this for you. There you go.
What?
I already know what you're gonna do. I already know where you're going.
Upset of the week.
Yeah. All right, let's keep moving.
Yeah. I mean, do you have anything else to add on about this game?
We're good.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I have one more thing. The Browns did trade somebody. They traded Donovan Peoples-Jones to the Lions, in case you missed it.
Hey, keep your eye out for Cedric Tillman. He's coming for you. He's going to have himself a 50-yard day. Watch it.
Oh, that might be
Peoples-Jones.
That might be a DraftKings little sneak peek, it sounds like, huh?
No, not that. He's not going to be that good, but he might get some yardage.
Speaking of not good, we have the Packers hosting the Rams. We are back in Lambeau, 3-point favorites against a beat-up Rams team that probably won't be without Matt Stafford. He's been dealing with a thumb issue, really hasn't practiced all week. They're going to roll him out for a pregame warm-up. Nakua has been questionable all week as well. He has limited practices. They're going to roll him out pregame, see how he's going to do. It's going to be Brett Rippin. Stafford Rippin, whatever. if Stafford can't go, we might see Brett Rippin in this game. And honestly, it wouldn't shock me if Brett Rippin ripped us apart. I mean, this team is just flat out disgraceful right now. We can't score an offensive touchdown in the first half in 5 consecutive weeks, Green Bay. Since 1988. We weren't even thought of back then, man. Like, we are down bad right now. Okay, this team is just flat out trash. We traded away one of our best defensive players in Rasul Douglas. He's gone. He's in Buffalo now. I mean, throw in the white flag. Goody, throwing the white flag, Matt LaFleur. It might be Rich Pisaccia's team after a couple of weeks of this poor play. The Packers are just flat out awful. The offense can't catch a football. Dobbs, Wicks, Musgrave, Aaron Jones, Christian Watson, all these guys, they can't catch nothing. They're garbage. A.J. Dillon runs straight to the pile. I mean, I feel bad for Jordan Love. He's getting ripped apart on national media. We had about 8 to 9 drops last week. What can this guy do? He put it right in Jaden Reed's hands, and the defensive corner or safety ripped it right out of his hands and picked it off. This guy is fighting for his life out there. His offensive line stinks. The play calling is trash. I'm sorry, guys. I say all that because we're going to bounce back and win. We're going to bounce back and win this game. We are going to hold down Lambeau Field this week. By God, if we lose to Brett, Rippin, don't matter, tomato, I will scream to the heavens above. Packers win by 6. It's going to be a low-scoring game. It might be 16-10 because both offenses are going to be absolutely trash.
You almost talked me into picking the Rams, man, with all that. I'm like, oh, whoa, okay, all right.
That's my job. That's my job.
You said just about everything you could about the Packers. I don't think I have anything else to add to that. The Rams situation with the quarterbacks is a little weird because where is the kid from Georgia? I'm drawing a blank on his name. Stetson Bennett. Is he in rehab?
I don't know where the hell he is. He's not in the league. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Okay. They might have had a little bit more explosiveness with a guy like that playing. It's a fast quarterback. I think he would have better suited. But I think I'm going to take the Rams here. I think they're going to have a better rushing attack, and I think, like you said, it's going to be ugly. It's going to be probably low scoring. And Darrell Henderson's played some pretty good football. The dude just gets elevated from the practice squad, comes in, plays, gets almost 100 all-purpose yards, gets a touchdown. I think this game he'll have a little bit more success because their offensive line's not great when it comes to pass blocking, but they're still pretty good at running that zone blocking run scheme that San Fran does so well. They do that there and with the Rams too, and their offensive line is still pretty solid at that. So I'm going to take the Rams on the road.
Oh boy, another tough one because
not really.
I mean, yeah, because of everything you said about your team.
It's going to be a tie.
No, I'm going to give Matt LaFleur one more week to show me that he's still a winner, at least in some capacity. Because, this is a team that you should beat, LaFleur. Okay? Do your freaking job, man. Figure out a way to stop Mr. Rippin from making this a ball game. So I'm going to take the Packers by a field goal. Because if they were on the road, wouldn't take it. No, Packers on the road the rest of the year, I don't care who they're playing. I'm picking whoever they're playing against because they're not going to beat them. But them at home, they at least have a chance in Lambeau. So I'll give the Packers the win this week by a field goal. But I don't know if you're on the road next week, you're about to lose. So it's all right.
Yeah, we're playing the Steelers next week. I think we're at Lambeau. We have I have 2 injury reports I want to talk about just before we move on. Rudy Ford is questionable with a calf. He did not practice on Friday, so I'm going with he's not going to play. And then Quay Walker is also questionable with a groin injury. Did not practice on Friday. Probably won't play. So this team is just flat out sucky, man. That's all I wanted to say. I love you guys. I really do. I love the Packers.
But dude, no Quay Walker hurts.
Yeah, I know. And then we just trade away Rasul Douglas. So 3 of our key defensive guys are gone. I mean, if Rudy Ford and Quay Walker miss, we got Preston Smith lining out in the nickel, man.
I'm still gonna stand pat with my decision, even with all that news. The LaFleur should still win this freaking football game. I know McVay's good also, but dude, it's a backup QB. You should be able to figure him out.
I think the run
And
game is going to prevail. That's my opinion.
We'll see.
And LA is visiting the frozen tundra. It's gonna be chilly out there, a little 45 degree. Let's move on to the Commanders and the Patriots. This little poopy game. We have the Commanders. I mean, they sold out everybody they could. Montez Sweat got traded to the Bears. He just signed a 4-year, $98 million contract extension with Chicago. And then Chase Young going down there to my guy Knipe's 49er team for a, what was it, 3rd-round draft pick? A conditional or what?
It's conditional third.
So no,
Yeah.
it was our compensatory pick that we got for having a coach be hired that was a minority. And the good news is that I believe if Chase Young goes out and gets a fat contract from somewhere else next season, that we get a 3rd-round compensatory pick back.
Yes, you do.
That is elite GM shit right there. All the GMs around the league need to pay attention to that, because that's how you keep building a great franchise. You never settle for what you got.
Yeah, Lynch is awesome. I would, if we could give Lynch and Shanahan just a lifetime deal right now, I would. I'd be like, you know what, just pay them whatever like a fair medium is every year, and because I bet you anything they wouldn't say like they would deserve like the highest of the league, because they need to produce Super Bowls for that. Like Andy Reid should be the highest paid coach in the league, in my opinion. But yeah, that's how I feel about my coach and my GM. Is like I wish we could just give them lifetime deals and not worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, Commanders. I feel bad for McLaurin. I feel bad for Sam Howell. I mean, this was from the owners, Josh Harris and his group. They wanted all these guys traded. They wanted them off the team. It's flat out rebuild for Commanders, man. Ron Rivera, I don't know how he still has a job. We saw one head coach get fired. I don't know how he did not get fired. He's in a quote unquote safe spot right now. I don't know. Maybe they're playing golf on Sundays or Saturdays together. I don't know. But this game is one of those toss-up games. Like what is this Commanders team after all the trades, man? You know, and the Patriots, we've seen how bad they've been. Their offense has been piss poor. They had a great game against Buffalo. That's about it. Give me the Patriots at home. I'm not feeling. I don't like this pick at all. But the Patriots and Mac Jones, maybe they have enough firepower to get past. I mean, without Sweat and Chase Young on that defensive line, I think Mac Jones can rest a little bit easier tonight. So give me the Patriots squeezing out a victory at home here.
Yeah, I'll tell you what that Commanders team is after losing those guys. It's worse than it was before. And before it wasn't really great. So they're going to be in an even worse spot. The person I feel bad for is Jonathan Allen. It's Jonathan Allen, right? The defensive tackle for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was upset after that last game. He said, I'm tired of losing, man. The same thing Jalen Ramsey said when he was on our team on the sideline. It sucks when your team just can't figure it out. And I don't have a whole lot to say about this. I think I'm going to pull a knife here and just go with the home team. So I'm going to take the Patriots as well. I just think they're going to be outcoached. Patriots aren't world beaters by any means, but Commanders just weakened their team by a lot. I mean, those two guys were probably their best players. You know, it's probably Montez Sweat, then Chase Young, and then maybe like Terry McLaurin for their talent on their team. Beyond that, like they got a bunch of dudes. So yeah, give me the Patriots at home.
Yeah, I'll take the Patriots at home as well. Bill Belichick against a rookie QB and a defense, like you guys have been saying, that's just kind of been gutted out a little bit of its ripe young talent. So I don't know who's picking the Commanders to win. I doubt it. I mean, they can. It's not impossible because the Patriots are nothing special. But Belichick at home against a rookie QB, that's kind of all I need to hear. I don't really care what else the situation is. I'll take Bill on that side almost 95% of the time.
That's a good point. I don't know.
Hal's not a rookie. Hal's not a rookie.
Yeah, he didn't start last year, did he?
He started some games.
Whatever. You know what I mean. He's an NFL virgin. What do you want me to say? He's a second.
Well, I just want to I don't want to clarify. That's all. I want to give some.
I mean,
you got to show some love to Hal now. He's not a rookie.
He's never played, but that's how I like. Even Patrick Mahomes, like the second year, like that was like that's his rookie year. Like in my opinion, I mean, it's like, dude, they didn't play. Like they're not doing anything.
So he didn't play enough to where Knight called him a rookie, and I believed it right off rip. I was like, oh yeah, he's a rookie.
Well, he didn't call Jordan Love a rookie.
He sat there for
Yeah,
4
because
years.
that's been a while though. He's played in every preseason game. Like that's 3 years of playing and all that crap. He played at least a regular season game. Like I don't know.
I got you. I'm just busting your tail. But yeah, it's gonna be a snooze fest. Thank God for Red Zone. I'm sure they're gonna show a lot of this game, right? Oh yeah, right.
They might.
Yeah, right. Maybe a lot of defensive touchdowns from
The
the
Saints.
Patriots. No, I'm
Oh,
talking about the Patriots and Commanders.
okay.
We're going down now to the Bears
Yeah.
and the Saints. Another snooze fest. And the Saints are 500. They should win this game easily. The Bears, they're making moves. They're doing some things, but this is not the year. Of course, Justin Fields, he did practice a little bit this week. Good news for them, but he's not active for this game. It's going to be Tyler Beignet. I don't know how to pronounce this dude's name anymore. Tyson Bagent. Yeah, there you go. That guy. He's gonna lose. Saints are gonna win easily here at home in NOLA in the Big Easy. I'm sorry, Bears, but you know you're gonna lose this game. I think Derek Carr is in line for a big game. I think Kamara is in line for a big game. I know, I don't want to look at you when I say that, but yeah, this screams Saints might shut this team out in this game. So give me the Saints and give me the point. I think they cover that 8-point spread. I got them winning big at home.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a bad game for Bajan. They're going to be the bad news bears. There's going to be a lot of turnovers in this game, in my opinion, anyways. I think the Saints defense is still one of the best defenses in the league. They still play hard-nosed. They get a lot of turnovers. They have had less of their pass rush than they have in the past. Cam Jordan hasn't been like a world beater like he has been years prior. But this is a game that they can get after them. The Bears' offensive line isn't good. So I think they're going to be able to add a little bit of pressure. Did y'all see that deal they inked for Sweat? Oh, my. Gee, that deal is crazy.
I said it. I told you about it.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying. Reiterating.
Yeah.
That deal is crazy. Anyways, I'm going to take the Saints at home. I don't know if it's going to be a high-scoring offensive game, but I could see them having some defensive points too. So, yeah, give me the Saints and over the bad news Bears.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Saints. It's a talent thing, really. The Saints got some, Bears don't got none. But yeah, the Saints have at least a quarterback that's been there, done it, at least in this league for a hot little minute. A good veteran, or not good veteran, not great veteran. But yeah, he's serviceable and he'll get the job done against the team he's supposed to get it done against. So I can see him lighting up the scoreboard. I called Shaheed last week.
Yeah, you did.
I think Olave is like the squeaky wheel, like that whole crap that people talk about. Like, man. Olave, I feel like it just needs to go off this game. He needs to get himself one of those 150-yarders under his belt because he is so good enough to do it, and he knows it. And so does the coach, so does the quarterback. It's about them getting on the same page and getting meshed together. And I didn't think it would take this long. I thought Olave would be like a lot more, solidified by now. As like in our conversations of he's like a upper echelon type of dude. He's not in that conversation yet because he hasn't been on the same page with Carr this year. So I think Olave's time to shine is tomorrow, and I think you'll see over 125 yards from him at least. So yeah, give me the Saints by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, unless Carr starts screaming at him about running the wrong route. When
he ain't gonna do that again.
8 yards out of bounds.
Carr just likes to get emotional, man. Like he's an emotional dude, so he likes to throw a little extra at people. Like I think he knows damn well as soon as he overthrew that ball, he was trying to make an excuse in a bad moment.
Like this is a get right game for Carr and his receivers to all get on the same page. This could be a bad game for them if they don't. This could be the telling game. Before we move on to the Seahawks and Ravens, I wanted to ask both y'all this because Rashawn Gary, I forgot to touch on this for the Packers. He just got an extension too. 4 years, $107 million for Rashawn Gary. So I wanted to ask you, Spence, because I talked to Kiefer through text. So I wanted your input as well. And yours too, Josh Allen is in line to get paid. Now, he's mad. He's mad at the Packers because we gave him a 4-year, $107 million. And then you just saw Sweat get his 4-year, $98 million contract. So Where do you think Josh Allen, like realistically, how much money do you think he's going to be asking for?
I'd like to compare that to when the Jags paid Christian Kirk what they paid him in free agency, and everyone lost their minds. They were like, "How could you pay a number 2 wide receiver this much money? And it's overpaid, and he'll be a middle of the road kind of guy." And Kirk came out and balled, and he solidified the fact that he needed that contract. I think this is a similar situation where they paid Rashawn Gary, and I don't know why they paid him that much, but it's what your team values that player at. They must know a lot more than everyone else. They see him every day, so they're banking on him being a focal point for their team for a long time coming. Josh Allen's probably going to get paid a lot, a whole lot. Now, we have the benefit of the NFL having these new TV deals to where they're about to get a shared revenue increase that's like more than they've ever seen in the history of the league, which is a lot of money. So what that's going to do is that's going to increase all the cap room for all the teams as well, and that's going to bring the cap up by quite a bit. So for a cap hit purposes, I think they'll still be able to get a lot of things done. Right now we're sitting at like 26 mil over the cap. I say pay the man. He's been crazy good this year. It's unfortunate that we had to wait till a contract year to see the Josh Allen that we all knew he could be, but maybe this is just a sign of things to come for him. And I'm okay with us throwing a bag at him. I don't know how much money it'll be, but it's probably going to be better than the Rashawn Gary contract because his agent, I don't know who it is. I'd have to look it up to see who his agent is, but I guarantee they're going to go in those negotiations and go, they paid this guy this much, just like the receivers did when Kirk got paid. They said they paid this guy this much. Like, I'm way better than him. Blah blah blah. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, Rashawn Gary is nice. He's a good player, man.
He's
still
not bad
young
by any means. Yeah, but he's not.
Don't laugh, Knife.
He's
what
not
are you over there
game,
laughing for?
He's not a game breaker though. He's not a TJ Watt. He's not
had
a
3
guy
sacks in a game this year.
Okay. So did Josh Allen.
I know.
He's not a guy who comes in like it's the final drive. The team needs to get in field goal range to win it, and they're playing Pittsburgh, and you're like, oh, TJ Watt's about to force a fumble here. Like, this game's over. Like, you're expecting it. You know what I mean? Yeah. You don't go, yeah, Rashawn Gary's got this game in the bag, man. You know what I mean?
What do you think, Knife, real quick?
I mean, I think Allen is going to get paid above both of those guys.
And he should.
He has. He'll be at least $1 or $2 million above. That's typically how those things happen. Whenever it's a high number, they want. It's like a respect thing. Like, even if it's a menial amount of money, like it's an extra $500,000. When you're talking about $100 million is like, okay, whatever. But like, it's a respect thing, so it's going to be just $1 or $2 million above whatever those guys got.
And he'll probably get more guaranteed money too.
And I think
by just a couple million, but yes.
Yeah.
The Trevor deal's coming down the pipeline. That's going to tie up a lot of money in cap. But I think right now we're sitting good where we can do that. We can pay that. We got our other pass rushers on a rookie deal right now, so we can do that.
All right. Well, we got a good game right here. The Seahawks and the Ravens, the Birds facing off against each other. Call. Who's going to be better? Ravens are looking like a powerhouse right now, man. Their offense and Todd Monken over there, he's dialing up some great play calls. Lamar Jackson, man, he should be in the MVP category. He's been balling this year, staying healthy. Thank God. We love to see him on the field. The Seahawks, though, they're making some moves as well. They just signed Frank Clark off the free agency, and then they just traded for who was it? Who they just get? I'm blanking.
No, don't tell him. Don't tell him.
Wait, hold on. It's another defensive guy. Come on. I know it.
Don't look at your notes.
Don't look at it.
I forgot.
Who is it? Dude, come on, bro. It's on Ace's team.
Oh, yeah, Leonard Williams. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go.
It is traded for Leonard Williams. I mean, my God. That defensive line looks nice. Looks legit. They're making moves, bro. Seahawks are a good team as well. This is going to be a good game. This is going to be a very good game.
Do it. Do it.
Oh, I want to.
Do
I
it.
want to, but I have another one down the line. I can't go against the Ravens right now, bro. I got to take the Ravens at home. I'm close. I'm
Dude,
close to doing it, man.
That'd be such a fun one to call too.
I know. The over-under is 44.5. I think that's over. This should be a little shootout here. The Ravens are 6-point favorites. I do not like that. Give me this. I like the Ravens, but give me the Seahawks points to win this game. I think the Ravens pull it off with a Justin Tucker 53-yarder on top of Knife's head. Ravens win by Tucker's last-second field goal.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Like you said, Lamar, when he's healthy, man, he's exciting to watch. That's one of the most like prolific quarterbacks I've seen in a while, like who can come out and be everything you need on your offense. The whole team runs through him. You say that about a lot of teams with their quarterbacks, but he does it on the ground, he does it through the air. And he's been a really good passer this year too. I mean, they've been talking all these MVP talks with, Tua and Mahomes, and I think he's getting overlooked a little bit. Because he is playing really well. Seattle bolstered their defense, like you said. That's a two good acquisitions for them. They're going to come into a hostile environment, and any team in the AFC North, their home field it's a legit home field advantage. Their fans are crazy. They show up. They're loud. I'm going to take the Ravens at home, but I do think it'll be close. I don't like that 6-point spread. I do think it'll be close, and I do think that it'll be higher scoring than most people think as well. So give me the Ravens at home in a tight game. Maybe you will get that Justin Tucker 50-yarder.
Yeah, the Ravens have been difficult to call this year, but I feel like they are doing that thing. I think I've said it before too, like where they're playing to like the skill level of their opponent. Like if their opponent's not very good, then they don't play very good. If their opponent's really good, then they kind of show out. And they kind of showed that, like at least last two I can remember, like the Tennessee game, like they kind of played similar to Tennessee, and then Cardinals, they played, the Cardinals were in it and alive for a little bit when you weren't expecting that at all, but then like they played the Lions and just shred them, like, huh?
Yeah.
But honestly, I could see that. I'm going to call a Ravens blowout, man. I think the Ravens. Yeah, I think just because their defense at home their defense is like disgusting all year. But at home, man, that's just going to give them extra juice against a Seattle team that I don't think has looked in sync on offense this year. Even though, I mean, they did pull it off last week, but they still just haven't. Hasn't looked like last year was exciting to watch the Seahawks offense. Like now, you're kind of like you just like kind of want to see what's wrong and why only Kenneth Walker is really working over there. Like that's the only player I can really think of that's like regularly getting in the end zone. And so, yeah, I think the Ravens will actually dog walk the Seahawks this week.
Yeah, I gotta check the stats because that is a good point by you. I don't know how bad their red zone offense is off the top of my head for the Seahawks. That is, it could just be bad red zone offense because they get those big play touchdowns with well, not big play, but I'm talking about like 25, 30-yard touchdowns from like
outside the red zone.
Yeah, like Lockett last year would get some, like DK. I mean, yeah, it was just a more explosion, like more big plays last year for the Seahawks. And I just feel like we haven't seen that that much this year. There hasn't been anything super exciting about them. Like you don't get the red zone doesn't cut to them that often to show a big play. You know what I mean? And they used to be all over the screen last year.
Yeah, I feel like their explosive guy's been that Bobo dude. He's been getting explosive plays.
Jake Bobo.
They're right now tied for 20th in the red zone for touchdown efficiencies. Right. They're 11 out of 22 for touchdowns.
I bet they're better than the Jags.
Yeah. I mean, that's not what you want, though. 20th out of 32, so below the bottom half of the league in red zone. But good point by you, Knight. Let's go down to the Bucks. Oh, Jesus. Bucks versus the Texans. I wish Ben was in here because I might have to do this again. Bucks suck. I mean, I'm sorry. They just do, man. Like, this is who the team was. They started 2-0. Everybody was like, oh, yay, the Bucks are good. They're going to surprise a lot of teams this year. So the Packers, they started 2-0, and we saw what happened. Texans, though, are a questionable team as well. This team has struggled last week, especially coming off a bye. They came flat on their face, it looked like last week. I I like a bounce back game for the Texans here. This pick is one of those I feel like I'm going to get wrong. I'm going to pick the Texans, but I think the Bucks are going to squeak out a win just because they do that every single time I pick against them. No, that's what they do. If I pick against the Bucks,
what the hell just happened? So you just said I'm going to pick the Texans, but I think the Bucks are going to win. What the hell?
After dumping all over.
I meant like I'm going to take the Texans, but it wouldn't shock me. There we go. It wouldn't shock me the Bucks won this game, but I just can't pick the Bucks in the right week every time, and I can't pick the Texans on the right week.
Well, you're going to get
I'm going to get something wrong. Yeah, something's got to give. So give me the freaking Texans. I think C.J. Stroud and company, Nico Collins, he kind of, he kind of fell back down to earth after the first 5 to 6 weeks of this season. Maybe he wakes back up in this game, but we do have an injury. Damian Pierce is going to miss this game, so Devin Singletary is going to start. The Bucks defense on against the run, though, go ahead and play him. I like the Texans. I think C.J. Stroud's in for a bounce back game. He needed that little, okay, this how it is. I'm gonna come back next week and ball out. Give me the Texans.
Yeah, I hear that, but I think maybe now that we're almost, we're halfway through the season basically here. I think maybe these defenses have gotten enough tape on Stroud to where they're kind of figuring out how he's playing as a pro. And they're kind of figuring out some of the breaks through their offense. The defenses are starting to figure them out a little bit. So I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to take the Bucks on the road.
Ooh.
I think that their defense is going to force the Texans into some mistakes. Their run game has been awful. I don't know what's going on with that with Damian Pierce. Like that, their run game has been bad. So
both sides of this. The Bucks run offense sucks as well.
Yeah, it's terrible. But that running back can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's pretty good out of the backfield. So he gets a lot of receiving yards. I mean, he had like 70 last week when he only had like 27 or something rushing. Yeah. So I don't know. I just feel like they're going to do enough to get this win and take one on the road here.
I'm going to think the same way as Max on this one. I'm going to go with the Texans, except for I'm not going to say anything about the Bucks winning potentially because that's not happening. Because I said so. Texans are going to win. Nico Collins going deep down the sideline. 65-yard touchdown. I can already see it.
Is that your hot take of the week?
I don't know. But I know that's one of my it might be one of my picks later, you know what I'm saying?
A little foreshadowing, huh?
But yeah, so give me the Texans. I think so. I called the Panthers beating the Texans last week, but I also said in that statement that the Texans were still not going to be done. They are going to get right. They're still a good football team, and because I mean they've proven that they can hang with pretty much anybody as long as they're playing a full game together. And so I think that the Texans will get back on track this week, and I think that they'll take this game by at least 6.
Okay. Well, I know why. We all know why Spence took the Bucks, man.
Come on now.
Why?
Because he's the division. Watch, he's going to do it again. Watch. We got the Colts taking on the Panthers. The Panthers coming off a nice little win here. Last week they finally get in that win column. Woo! Good news for Chicago Bears, right? No, not really. Colts on the road. This team is just one of those like, okay, well, your season kind of went down the drain once AR went down with that shoulder surgery. Jonathan Taylor's back, but still slowly getting back in the swing of things. It seems like this game, gosh, this 4:00 game, the Cowboys and Eagles are going to carry the 4:00s. Hopefully. Give me the Colts on the road here because I just believe in Gardner Minshew. Actually, you know what? No, give me the Panthers. Give me the Panthers. I'm going to flip it. Give me the Panthers. They're riding it hot. Bryce Young is going to be like, okay, I got some swagger now. I got my first win. You know what I'm saying? People thought CJ Stroud was better than me. Had to go out there and beat him. I still think CJ Stroud is better. But Panthers, they're This team sucks too. This game sucks. I like the Panthers at home. They're actually underdogs, -2.5 for the Colts. But give me the Panthers here. It's not my upset of the week, but give me the Panthers.
Yeah, I am going to make it my upset of the week. I'm going to take the Panthers also.
Oh, see,
You
I
called it. You called it. I think they figured out some things offensively, and I think Bryce Young's getting himself a little bit of confidence. That Colts front seven's pretty good, but I don't know. I just got a feeling that this is one that they can take. They can take. They're playing at home. So yeah, I mean, I don't have an awful lot to say about it. Miles Sanders is going to be back for this game, right?
He was back last week. He only had 2 carries
okay,
last week.
He's good to go. Yeah. So I'm going to take the Panthers here, and that'll be my upset. Not a big one when you look at the point spread, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun picking the Panthers last week. That was awesome. Called their first W, but I don't think it's going to happen this weekend. I think the Colts will win this football game due to the nature of Zach Moss and Jonathan Taylor being the animals that they are. Those dudes are running well right now. They're both kind of feeling themselves. That's going to be a tough run game to stop, in my opinion. Because the Texans' run game is trash, and that's why it didn't work when they tried to do it over and over and over again last week. And the Panthers were able to stop it. And the Panthers have been terrible against the run, just like the Broncos have been. But with the Colts offensive line that's meshing pretty well on this run blocking, and Steichen having the scheme to just get people lanes, I mean, Zach Moss and Jonathan Taylor should control this game. I wouldn't be surprised if both of them had like over 100-yard type of situation, and then you can even give both of them a touchdown. To be honest, I think they're both going to have a great game. But I think the Colts are going to take this. I think that Bryce Young still looks like at least he belongs, where he's just not. He ain't ready to put 2 in a row together. He only gets that one, and he has to earn one again later.
Okay. Giants and Raiders, guys.
Another stink fest.
Yeah, we've actually have a lot of stink fest this week. Sadly, we had a good week last week, but we've had some stink fest this week. Giants on the road. DJ Daniel Jones is back. He's trying to iffy his way back into the swing of things.
Good callback.
Giants basically threw the game last week. They had the game in the freaking wrapped up, won it, and then Brian Daboll does what he does, man. They blew the game against the Jets. Raiders, they had a fire sale. They just fired Dave Ziegler, head coach Josh McDaniels, their offensive coordinator Mike Lombardi, or was it? I forgot. Lombardi, I don't know. They just benched Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, Jesus, what is this team? What is this team right now? They're playing basketball in the locker room. This team just does not look like a team right now. Give me the Giants. Max Crosby almost dropped. We all saw what happened there. Don't do that, Max. But Giants, I think they have enough to get this done. I feel like they are upset about last week, and now this is a perfect bounce back game, I guess, if you could say that, if you're 2-6. But yeah, Antonio Pierce is now the interim head coach. Thank you to Ace Avenue, the ex-Giant. Could be a little revenge game for him. Give me the Giants, though. I think Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, in for a big game. Saquon is in for a monster game. I think 200-plus yards. I think 3 touchdowns from Saquon. Give me the Giants winning here. The Raiders are an absolute atrocity of a franchise, and they are going to lose a stinker here.
Yeah, I'm going to go opposite of you. Also, fantasy implications here. I think Aiden O'Connell is going to be a better quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo has been this entire time, because he's just been terrible.
Aiden sucks too, bro.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. I think he'll be able to feed Adams a little bit more. I think Adams will go off in this game. I don't know if anyone in the Giants secondary can cover him. So I'm going to take the home team. I don't think it's going to be very high scoring. I could see maybe, 40 points total from both teams. Something real, low like that. And like you said, Max Crosby almost gave Max's a bad name. He has an extra X at the end of his name. So if he said something that he wasn't supposed to, blame it on the Maxes who have 2 X's in their name. Okay. But anyways, give me the Raiders at home.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't figured out throughout the show, me and Max have a fantasy matchup this week, and he's been emphasizing a few players and a few things that he wants to happen. And he's trying to LeVar Ball all of it into existence. But yeah. So at one point, I had the Bengals defense this week, and I saw Max pick up the Giants defense, and I couldn't resist. I was like, you know what? It'd be way more fun to watch that game with Max if we both have each of the defenses in that freaking game, just because it's two crap offenses.
You can curse.
And whatever. But like, it's just two really bad offenses, and we got to just see who's going to get the pick six, because I feel like there is going to be 6 points got by one of these defenses, and one of us is going to get it. So I feel like that's going to be exciting to watch for that, and that's the reason I did that for our fantasy matchup, just so it was just more fun to watch this game in particular. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Raiders, just because I believe that whole, like, when the new coach comes on and gets the troops riled up, it has an actual effect. Because I mean, even look at last year with the joke of a coach, Jeff Saturday. Like, I love Saturday to death. He's a great dude. He was not ready to be an NFL coach though. But guess what? He came out and won his first game because that team played for, like, their pride, and that, like, there's like Pride Week in NFL, and this is that one for the Raiders. This is their Pride Week, so that's why I'm hoping that they show out. If they don't and the Giants steamroll them, that would be quite shocking. But yeah, give me the Raiders by a field goal.
Yeah, and that's a good point too. Saturday was very, like, Colts ingrained. Obviously, he'd been there for 14 years or however long he played there. That's kind of the same thing with the interim coach, Antonio Pierce. Y'all saw his press conference. He's gonna touch some players. He's gonna get out there and really get them all fired up about Raiders culture, about Raiders history, and yeah, I like that. That's a good point, Knight.
Yeah.
And also, I picked up the Giants defense because the Commanders traded away all their good defensive pieces. I was like, screw this defense. I'm not rolling with this. Oh man.
Steelers defense is on the trading block after this week.
Dude, what?
That was so funny.
He just offered a defense for trade. That just happened.
Well, I mean, Angel might do
live on the air.
Angel might do it.
They're like the second or third most high scoring defense in the league.
I understand, but like, I don't know. Remember last time I saw a defense get traded? That's so rare.
All right, this is going to be the wake up game for the 4 o'clocks. It's been a long day. We're the 9:30 game. We're feeling good. Got mimosas in us. We're drinking. 1 o'clock. It rolls around. We're still drinking, baby. The 4 o'clocks. The 2 games ahead of this one. We're like, oh, come on, man. But we have the game of the week for me. Cowboys on the road taking on the Eagles. This is grab your popcorn, must watch. But last time we said this with the Cowboys, they got demolished by the Niners. So hopefully they don't fall flat on their face once again. I know French is listening. The Cowboys are 3-point underdogs here in Philly. They are flying high. They are waving those wings. The Eagles, man, they look like they are going to win the Super Bowl. That is my Super Bowl winner right here, the Eagles. I'm saying it right now, week 9. But we're still in week 9 here. Eagles are at home. Cowboys, this is a huge game for you. A huge game, because if you can steal a win on the road against your divisional rival who's 7-1, if you fall to 5-3 and they're 8-1, oh man, it's gonna be tough sledding for you, man. But can the Cowboys do it? Can Micah Parsons and company go in there and pump up their chest? No. I have Jalen Hurts and the Eagles holding down home field, Lincoln Financial Field. This is going to be a rocking on Sunday afternoon, man. And there might be some fights. We might go on X on Monday afternoon and see a fight break out between some Cowboys and Eagles fans. We've seen fights every single week. Stop fighting the freaking stands, idiots. But if you want to go to this game, you're going to have to pay at least $300. That's how low these tickets are right now. $302. Give me the Eagles at home.
Yeah, and if you want to save a little bit of money when you do that, go ahead and go to plug it.
SeatGeek can use that promo code MaxCoverageTV, save you $20 off that first purchase, man. Why not? Your beer is going to cost you about $30 anyways. You got to save some money somewhere.
Right, right. So I'm going to take the home team also. I'm going to take the Eagles just off rip.
Ooh.
I think it's going to be close. I do think it's going to be a battle. Debating whether this one or the next one is the game of the week, but I think both of them are going to be great. But I think it just comes down to who makes less mistakes. And I think that the offensive scheme that the Eagles have prevents Jalen Hurts from making a lot of those mistakes, whereas the Cowboys are a little more free and loose. And Dak has been proven to make some mistakes throughout his career when it comes to a lot of these big games where they're like crunch time. They really need to win something. So I'm going to take Philly. I don't think it's going to. Is it a 3-point spread?
Yep.
Yeah, I could see it. Field goal kind of game. Do think it will be a little bit higher scoring, even though both defenses are absolutely phenomenal. It's just one of those games. Those guys tee off on each other. They just go back and forth like heavyweights. It should be a good one. But
The secondary for the Eagles have been rocky, though. Like the secondary has been.
Yeah, but their front seven's so good. They just get after those quarterbacks and make them uncomfortable, make them make mistakes. Now, the Cowboys do the same thing. Michael Parsons is free. What was that tonight?
So it's about to be going to CD.
Oh, yeah. First down. Yeah, no, but, he'll probably get his, but so will A.J. Brown. So we'll see how it all pans out, but I'm going to take the Eagles.
Man, French, hit the record button because you're about to love me. I'm going to go with my upset of the week.
Oh!
I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to upset the Philadelphia Eagles. And I get the vibe because of just what's happened over the last few weeks for the Eagles. We saw them be exposed a little bit against the Jets. You can beat them if you make Jalen Hurts uncomfortable. The Cowboys are about to make Jalen Hurts uncomfortable. And I don't feel like that offense has looked like the offense last year looked scarier than it does to me this year. So I think the Dallas defense is going to be the difference in this game. I think Deron Bland and I don't know why I just forgot his name. Their other cornerback, the guy who's Stephon Gilmore. I think they're going to have great games. I don't think A.J. Brown's going to have 125 this week. Like it was a great run. But dude, the Eagles have played the Commanders. They're in division game like crap. And you bring that junk around the Cowboys, and the Cowboys have been a part of blowouts, and they've got blown out. But I feel like they can win on the road this week. They could take advantage of an overconfident Philly team, just because of how well the Commanders have played them when that's an in division game, and that's how you are going to play. Like that doesn't give me confidence for when you play the tougher team in that division. So yeah, give me the Cowboys. Give me them by field goal at least. So 3 to 4 points, I'd say.
There you go. French said he loves you, man. It's gonna be a good game, man. I can't wait to watch that game. And we're gonna finish off Sunday night on another great game here. The Bills taking on the Bengals on the road. Bengals are rolling now. This is what they do. They start slow and they start going. And it looks like Joe Burrow is 100% healthy. That calf strain looks like it's not going to be an effect anymore. Jamar Chase said, hey, Joe Burrow is back, baby. Joey Cool. Bills, Josh Allen, a little banged up on the flip side. He messed up that shoulder on a run play, landed on it wrong. He didn't practice on Wednesday, but then he got some full practices in. He's good to go. He's going to play. So that being said, upset. I got the Bills walking in to Paycor Stadium. Hey, I said it right. I was off the top of my head. Walking into Paycor Stadium and just winning this ball game here. I think Stephon Diggs has been a little quiet lately. It's been a lot of Gabriel Davis. Even Shakir has been having a lot more volume. We saw a lot of catches from Diggs, just not a lot of yardage. I think Diggs has a big game Sunday night against the Bengals. I think the Bills are going to walk into Paycor and win. Right now, they're 2.5-point favorite, or I'm sorry, the 2.5-point dogs on the road. The over-under is 50.5. That means we're going to see a shootout, says Vegas. And this is a little different for these teams because last time this happened, we all saw DeMar Hamlin. So we all saw what happened with him. So, fantastic. He's okay, and he's still playing for the Bills. But I cannot wait to watch this game. I like the Bills here by a very narrow victory. Give me a 3-point win by the Bills.
Yeah, I think the Bills coming back to that field, like you mentioned, DeMar Hamlin, there's going to be a lot of emotion going. They're going to be fired up for this. They know that the Bengals had their number. They beat them a lot in the past. They beat them in very crucial, very big games, and they've knocked them out of the playoffs. And, all that's going to factor into that. They're going to be fired up. They're going to be ready to go. With that being said, I'm going to go the opposite of you. I'm going to go with the Bengals at home, because I do think that Burrow is back to being Joe Burrow, back to being Joe Cool, getting all those big yard plays. And Jamar Chase, 7-11, man, always open. Always open. I don't know if anyone's going to be able to cover him in that secondary. He'll probably have a huge game. Joe Mixon's starting to figure it out a little bit now, too. He's starting to run the ball a little bit better. He's starting to get in between the tackles and, make impact plays where he wasn't making them before, which that helps when your pass game's working as well. So I just think they're going to do enough to win one. I do agree with you with being a close game kind of thing. It might come down to a field goal. It might come down to a turnover in someone else's red zone. One of those kind of mistakes, I do believe that the Bengals, though, have more firepower with Burrow back playing the way that he's playing. So, yeah, give me the Bengals at home. Should be a great game. Should be an incredible game. I'm thinking them and the 9:30 game are going to be like the highest scoring ones of the week, and they're going to be very fun to watch. And a lot in fantasy football, people are going to be fired up to see that.
Yeah, I feel like they are the two biggest games because of fantasy, because like those two teams have so much firepower on. Wait, oh, you have someone, Max, on?
I have Josh Allen
Oh,
and
okay. I
Dalton
didn't know.
Kincaid.
I didn't know. But yeah, I mean, the fact we get to start off the day with a great game and end the day with a great game, that's pretty awesome. Happy about that. Good scheduling. Finally, it feels like it feels like we're getting screwed on prime time again, kind of. Not as bad as last year though. Dude, can you just can we all take a moment and say thanks for not being able to watch the Broncos again last year? Dude, that was
my God.
It was
man.
like 6 primetime games of just time I'll never get back in my life. Like the Colts and Broncos, man. I still just what the hell. Yeah, this game. Sorry. Let me move on to this one. But yeah, I think the Bengals are going to take it at home because it's a primetime at home game. Those are when the defense gets amped up, and the Bills have not looked right. And they've had one game where they've looked correct, in my opinion. That was the Dolphins game. Maybe they'll step up because Josh Allen is that type of dude who can step up to the situation. But they also haven't. I think Burrow has proven more that he can. That he might even be. He might be more him. The more capitalized. And so I'm going to take Joe Burrow to do Joe Burrow things and to not let a home win slip away from him.
They need it.
They do. I'm thinking this could be like a 30-27 game. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, I can very well see that too. Absolutely.
Hell,
Real quick,
40 to 35 or some weird
fucking 90 to 70.
Why not? 70 to 62. Why not?
There you go. Perfect. Actually, let's call that right now. On Max Coverage, we're predicting 70 to 62. If that happens,
run to the bag, baby.
We better go viral.
Real quick, Chargers, Jets, Monday Night Football. I like I could do this too. I could do another upset of the week, but I'm not going to. Give me the Chargers on the road here against the Jets. I almost did just because of defensive purposes. I think the Jets are a far superior defensive team than the Chargers are, and that might hurt Justin Herbert a little bit. It might really affect Austin Eckler in this game. That front seven for the Jets is stellar, but I think Justin Herbert versus Zach Wilson. Give me Herbert all day. I got the Chargers on the road right now. They're 3.5-point favorites. 40.5 is the over under. but give me Justin Herbert. This is another close game. I think this is a pretty good Monday Night Football game. Last week was terrible, but hopefully this game is going to be a lot better. But give me the Chargers on a close game. I got them winning by 3 here.
Yeah, this one is something that I could have also picked as an upset of the week. But I just, Panthers only got 1 win. It's a little more exciting to say that they're going to get their second. But I'm going to take the Jets at home. I think that their defense is that good to where they force a lot of uncomfortable situations for quarterbacks. And Brandon Staley is a moron. I don't know what they got going on over there, but it's not good. It's not good. They played a little bit better the last couple of weeks than they were in the very beginning, but I don't know. Justin Herbert's good and all, but he just feels like, to me anyways, and this is my opinion, so don't crucify me for it, but to me he feels like a more athletic, better Phillip Rivers. Like, he doesn't do it when it needs to be done. Like, he puts up all these crazy numbers, he puts up all these crazy stats, and you're like, man, how do you make that throw? Well, then he also throws a couple picks, and you're like, oh, what was he thinking there? Similar to Trevor, Trevor. They ball out sometimes, and they throw one ball where you're like, what the hell? Well, I think the Jets only need a couple of those turnovers to make that into an ugly game where they can really get into position to make something happen. And the Chargers have a great pass defense as far as like their pass rush. Like we were talking about Khalil Mack earlier, like they got guys who can really do damage. However, they're terrible against the run. They are really bad against the run. And the Jets offensive line has proven that they can run block. They can run block, and Breece Hall is a freak. That kid is really good. And I'm expecting a big game from him to get through this. Now, I know, obviously, fantasy football, but I do think that this is a game where he's going to go off, man. And I just got a feeling they're going to play gutsy. They're going to play dirty. They're going to win the game through defense and through run. It's going to be old school kind of things. And I can see them scheming things to where Zach Wilson is running away from the pressure anytime they got to throw the ball, because he's athletic too. He can run away from Mac. He can get out there open. He can run away from Bosa. So
yeah, fuck that little MILF Hunter.
A little surprising that I would take the Jets, but I am. I'm taking the Jets, and I think they're going to win this one. And it will be close, but I think ultimately the Chargers will make a mistake that will bite them, and that defense will force them into some kind of turnover, and then it'll be a Breece Hall masterclass game for him.
Hey, stop it.
So you really like my matchups this week. It looks like you've been calling out my guys all
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm not a big fan of your running back matchups, either one of them. I'm kind of upset about that.
They're good. They're good going against those teams. Neither team has any big run stuffers to Saquon to stop Breece Hall. So
sorry.
Whatever, dude. Whatever. All right. I'm taking the damn Jets because Staley sucks. Arthur Smith sucks too. I'm just going to talk about him for another second. Hope there's Falcons fans in here because your coach sucks. Just want to remind you every week. But yeah,
mustache.
And not that there's too many. I'm sure there's not many Chargers fans on the internet. But yeah, your coach is terrible too. I'm sure you guys are already well aware of that. And I would take the Chargers to win if it was a 1 p.m. game. All day I would take the Chargers to win if it was 1 p.m. But the fact that this is a primetime game in New York, and you have a coach in Salah who is like, at least Salah is a motivator. He's a leader. He wants to see his guys win. That I trust that guy to get it done in a primetime game than I do over Staley, who has just shown us repeatedly on any stage that has a little bit of pressure. That dude forgets how to call a defense, and there's just lanes open everywhere. Like, you watch. The Chargers actually have not been that bad against the run recently, but Breece Hall, almost guaranteed this dude hits an 82-yarder to the house. And it's going to piss me off. I already know it's going to be the Monday Night Miracle, and Max is going to fucking beat me with it. And it better not happen. Justin Herbert better bring me back. Get off my head top. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think the Jets will win. I think that just based on coaching, I don't like Staley. I don't like betting with him. I'll trust another coach to best him in a primetime game, almost any of them.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all are saying music to my ears, man. Y'all really are. Appreciate
Yeah,
y'all.
whatever, dude.
Let's just touch real quick on DraftKings.
Hey,
Let's
wait,
try to win some more money.
hold on, real quick. You
What?
guys, let's have Max tell everyone who he had go on Thursday night. Who'd you have go?
I already said. I said at the beginning of the freaking show, George Pickens.
Okay, and then I had nobody going, and I still have the lead right now, right?
Hey, you could have had. Yeah, I'm about to say.
Yardage.
Yeah, we all had more yards than George Pickens did. So,
There's just
and we
great
don't play
you had.
football.
I had nobody going. If every game got canceled this week, you would lose.
Do better, George.
Don't wish that. Don't wish that bad juju on us. We need football.
I know.
Yeah. I'm free me. You better be free from my roster, my guy. I'll tell you that much.
Hey,
But let's move on to
Steelers
some
trail.
DraftKings. We won last week. I mean, my lineup was balling out last week. If you watch the show, man, we are trying to win you some money here. All you gotta do is just follow along with the plays. So let's jump right into it. We already touched on them a little bit earlier in the show. I like to go mid-tier. I spent up last week with Lamar Jackson. I didn't do it this week. I went with Derek Carr here at 5.7K. That's just too cheap against a Bears defense. And look at his game log, man. He's dropping 20 bombs almost every single week here, and he's still priced too cheap, below 6,000. Give me Derek Carr. I think, like we were saying earlier when we were touching on the game, I think he has a bounce back, great game here against a very poor Bears team. But I like Derek Carr at 5.7K. If I would, and I almost did it, I like Jordan Love as well, 5.5. Did not want to go that route because Derek Carr is sitting right there. But also, if you want to take a flyer, Jaron Hall is in there at 4.8. 8K.
He's a starter.
Dude, disregard.
Disregard. Hey,
That's
I'm
cheap
just
for a
saying.
starter.
You got a flyer right there. That saves you so much salary getting Jaron Hall in that lineup.
Yeah. When we do these DraftKings, I always think my lineups, they're just not that great. So if you're watching, if you're listening, and you're paying attention to this, go with Max or Knipe's roster over mine. I just like to play some of these free lineups and get a little crazy with it because that's how you win some of them. So my quarterback is Bryce Young, and I just think he did a little bit last week, and maybe he compounds on that. Maybe he gets something going. He's also very cheap. This is a flyer. His points have been pretty bad, except for 1 week he got 20 points. So let's see if he can maybe make something happen. I'm just taking him because of the salary, because obviously I'm going to use that money in other places.
I like both of you guys'
That's
picks
not
a
a
lot.
bad pick.
I think
that's not a bad pick.
Yeah, no, I like Derek Carr a lot. I think that's the smartest QB pick this week. If you're looking for the balance of saving for your other positions and also getting some ceiling there, but I wanted to mix it up just because I felt like Derek Carr would be the obvious choice for nearly everybody. I feel like that's gonna be a very high ownership guy. I went with Mac Jones because of what just happened in Washington's front office. How they just decided, oh well, screw it, let's give our guys away for peanuts. I took Mac Jones because he could get benched if he plays like garbage, but he could just have a random pop off game. Because this guy's weird. He can surprise you with a 303 day, and it wouldn't shock me if it was this week was the week that happened. Being that he's at home, and the Commanders also like to throw the ball. So if there's a lot of scoring, I actually think this could be a high scoring game, at least higher than we expect. And with both teams throwing a bunch, I could see Mac Jones being a beneficiary of this week. And I think he's also liable to have a sneak for a touchdown. He does that every now and again too. So he was like 4,900. So I was just wanting to save a lot of my QBs. I wanted to save a lot of my QB because when I saw my boy AK, sorry to spoil, but dude, I had to spend the 8,100 to get my boy.
We'll talk about it right here because we've been screaming it all show. These two guys right here at the very tippity top, Kamara and Barkley. I went with both these guys in my running back core. I spent up on the running back. I didn't really like the value. You could play Devin Singletary and save you some cash, but he just has a tough matchup, man. And I just feel like these guys are they're just in a home run spot, man. You could go Jonathan Taylor as well at 6.4K. He's in a good spot as well against Carolina, but I just could not pass on Kamara and Barkley. Like these two, they're 8.1 for Kamara and 7.9 for Barkley. We've already said enough about these guys this show. They are just in a home run spot, and if they fall, I'll fall on that sword, man, because I believe so much in these two.
I'll die with you, AK.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I have a running back in the flex, do I include them in my running backs?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna laugh, but I literally have Saquon and Kamara also as my 2 running backs because I saved a lot of that salary. Similar thing you said. These guys should go off this week, man. This should be a crazy good week for them. So I'm taking Saquon, I'm taking Alvin Kamara, and then on my flex, I have Jonathan Taylor. Like you were talking about, that's a good value. I think he's going to have a great game. Dude could go off. So those are my 3 running backs. Jonathan Taylor might be a little bit, fantasy specific, but
no, he's in a good matchup here.
Knight has Kamara. You have Barkley. I got Taylor. We're just running with this, man. Those are my 3 running backs.
Yeah, so I almost have the same as you guys. I have 1 guy difference, but I took AK because Christmas Day or Christmas Eve rather, best day of my life.
Shut up, man. You're like the Grinch. And he had Grinch cleats on too. That was the funniest thing. He had Grinch cleats on that game. I forgot about that.
Yes, sir. But yeah, my boy AK, got to spend up for him because the PPR. I mean, the PPR factor is just huge.
Yeah.
Every catch, like he's liable to get. You can get 5 almost for sure, but you get up to 10 to 12. And then I also took Chuba Hubbard just to save a little bit because I wanted to spend a little bit more on receivers.
Chewing gum.
But I took Chuba because he is the lead back. They said it again, even though they said he's going to split a little bit more. I still think that Chuba is going to get the first crack at the goal line work, and I think that the Colts game could end up being higher scoring than expected just because, like I said last week, the Colts run a lot of freaking plays. So if they're running a lot of plays, that gives the other team a chance to do the same thing. So give me a guy in that kind of game script. And then I also took JT in my flex because that price tag just I wanted either him or Zach Moss. I thought about doing both of them. But then I just decided to go with JT because I figured if anything, they're going to give him more carries. They're not going to give Zach Moss more carries. So,
yeah, those. I got to make another lineup too. I got to get Josh. I got to get Taylor in my lineup in one of my lineups.
He's a good.
I also like Kareem Hunt too. If you want to go down a little bit more at 5.5 against Arizona, Kareem Hunt or Ford, pick your poison with those two. I think those are both in a good spot as well as Darnell Henderson. So there's a couple of good options there, for value, but I just could not pass on these guys on the top, man.
No, it's Darnell.
Yep. So for receiver, I paid all that money for, Kamara and Barkley. I paid all that money for AJ Brown as well, man. Woo-hoo-hoo. How can you not play this guy right now? I'm sorry, French. I'm sorry, man. But AJ Brown has been insane. Like still at 8.6K, that's still underpriced. I said it last week. He was 8K flat, still underpriced. He should be about $1,000 more expensive than that 8.6 right now. I mean, look at the game script. Look at the game log. He's breaking records here. I know it's the Cowboys, but he's doing this against every single team, man. He's just incredible, bro. He's in the MVP conversation, honestly. If we stop this season right now, it should be him, Hill, or maybe Tua, honestly, for my 3. But AJ Brown has been on fire. I had to pay that 8.6K for him. And then I had to go down, of course, because now all my money's gone. So I had to go down a little bit. I went with Dobbs. When in doubt, go with Romeo because he's basically Jordan Love's favorite target at this point. Even though everybody drops the passes, but he's getting in the end zone. So you get 5.1K. Christian Watson's at 4.9. He's very cheap now. So you can go with either or because they're in a good matchup with the Rams, but pick your poison. I mean, it was kind of hard for me to start getting other receivers because of all the money I spent. So I had to go with Dobbs, and then I went to all the way down, Michael Gallup. That one's Michael Gallup.
Okay.
Because listen, we said it's going to be a shootout, right? This guy's
What?
going to be under-owned. He is not going to be owned at all.
Y'all
And
really
here-
do y'all really believe that the Eagles versus Cowboys will be like a over 25 points?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man.
And listen, call me crazy.
Oh,
But
you're
he's getting in
crazy.
the
I
end
wouldn't
zone.
say Gallup, but
He's getting
you know.
in the end zone here. Okay. I might have to tweak my lineup around a little bit, but if you want to have a flyer, go with Michael Gallup at 3.6K. I'm telling you,
flyer.
he might surprise you.
Yeah,
He has a.
after you bankrupted yourself over 3 players.
I could go to. I don't know. I could go Van Jefferson because Drake London's out, so he might have more.
This isn't getting any better, dude.
I know. Well, you want to get a little bit better because this guy was on my flex. He's a little higher. It's your boy Shaheed. Because I had Carr. You got to get the stack, even though the stack was Kamara was my stack. I think he's going to have a receiving touchdown. But Shaheed has been balling. Knipe called it last week. He just went crazy last week. I don't think he'll do that again by any means. I think we'll see more of a 85-yard game, maybe a touchdown possibly. But 4.5K, that's who I had to spend on my flex. So those are my receivers.
Yeah, so my flyer with a cheaper salary, just to pair him with Bryce Young, is DJ Chark. He's been on the injury report this week, but he's got limited practices in each practice, so I think he'll go. He's a veteran, so it doesn't take long for some of those guys. You know, they don't need to practice all week. He's been pretty mediocre to bad all season, but he is good for one of those, 30-yard touchdowns or 40-yard gains. He's a blazer downfield, and he's also a tall, big receiver. So I just kind of put him in there because he's a little bit cheaper, and I can pair him with the quarterback. So you get double points with those kind of things. My second guy is Tank Dell, who's a hit or miss guy also. However, cheap guy. I think they're going to put up a little bit of some points against Tampa. I got the Bucs winning the game, but I do also think that he's a good target for Stroud. Stroud likes to find him. Obviously, he's tapered off in the last few weeks compared to how he started. That could be a lull, and it could mean that he's going to get more looks. Maybe they're looking at it going, hey, we've had our best success when this guy gets a lot of catches, so maybe we should go ahead and throw him the ball a little bit more. So that was my reasoning with him. And then my third receiver is Zay Flowers, because he's been an absolute favorite target. As much as Mark Andrews, he's been getting peppered with targets. They've been throwing him the ball a lot, and this dude's a playmaker. I mean, he catches the ball, and he makes something happen almost every time the ball is in his hands. The dude is a really good playmaker. So I think he's going to have some opportunities here to get open. I'd like to see them be more creative with him too. Put him in some motion. Put him in.
They tried against Tennessee.
We need boring. We need lame.
Make him
great.
He had a lot of plays. He made a lot of plays last week. 5 catches for 19 yards. So he made a bunch of plays last week.
I mean, that's short yardage. What are you going to do? Sometimes you try those wide screens and someone misses a block or a DB sees it coming and they come up and make a play. But the dude balls, man. I don't know what his yak is for the season, but every time I see him catch the ball, he's usually not going down right away. So those are my three receivers.
Oh, my turn. Who are my receivers? I know I have Nico Collins as one, because I said it during the Texans coverage. But I just think Nico's going to have a hell of a week. He's the obvious. Huh?
Yeah, Douglas.
Yeah. And then Demario Douglas. He's the new number one there, essentially. And he's been getting a lot of snaps up in New England. And I have Mac Jones, so I wanted to stack him with somebody. And I didn't want to do one of the tight ends, either Hunter Henry or Mike Gesicki. So I went with Douglas just because he's been getting a lot of targets. So, I mean, not a lot of targets, but a decent amount. And he can, it's PPR. So if Bourne and Parker are both out, then Demario.
Parker's definitely out. Parker's tore his ACL. He's done for the year.
Oh, you mean Bourne did? Yeah, but
or Bourne. Yeah.
but yeah. So those two guys are out. Then DeMario is going to be a pretty.
Yeah, he's out too.
Yeah, then DeMario is going to be the default number one essentially. I mean, they'll have three guys like him, Juju, and someone else. But I think Tyquan Gordon. But yeah, that's why I stacked him with Mac Jones just to do a cheap wide receiver QB stack. Then Nico, and then who was my last guy?
Devontae Adams. I don't know why.
That's right, Devontae Adams. Because, dude, you really believe that Devontae Adams ain't going to be in that huddle and being like, "Yo, rookie, if you know what's good for you, you throw me the football." Like, I don't know if you've heard of me, but my name is Devontae freaking Adams, and I catch footballs for a living. And
he's had the dropsies lately.
Yeah, but I'll give Devontae a break, man, because he's been so good throughout his whole career. I'm not going to hold those against him. I'd still throw the ball right back at him Olave had 15 targets and 6 catches the other week. Come on.
Yeah.
So it happens to even awesome players. But yeah, I think Adams is going to have a hell of a week this week. I think he's going to be targeted over 13 to 14 times, and I think that he will just go bananas. So
I like that Demario Douglas call. I did not know all those injuries were on the Patriots side.
Yeah, it'd be a shame if someone moved him into his flex spot, huh?
Oh yeah, it should be. Oh,
do it if you're crazy.
Singletary's in a good spot too, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm scared of the Bucs run defense. I'm only putting him there. I'm only putting him there just for now.
That's a heady DraftKings play though, for sure.
Yeah. For tight end, I went with Spence's boy Kyle Pitts at 4.1K just because Drake London's out, so he should be the number one option in this game. And now you have Taylor Heineke throwing him the ball, so maybe he actually understands this guy's ability to make plays and throw him the ball other than Desmond Ridder, because Desmond Ritter's favorite target was Jonnu Smith. So give this guy the ball, Kyle Pitts. He should be the number one. I feel like a touchdown is in line for Pitts this week. If it's not, this guy needs to get off this team, man, because this is clearly the week against a poor Vikings defense and with Drake London out. So I like him at 4.1K for my tight end.
Yeah, let me go ahead and play the Gator music. Dun, 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 dun,
They lost.
dun,
They lost today.
dun, dun, dun.
They lost.
Yeah,
today.
well, it's funny because I also have Kyle Pitts for the exact same reasons. Drake London's out. This dude better do something on offense. I think he's an upgraded quarterback. I think he's going to be looking for an outlet. And Pitts, well, he's gotten a lot of separation. Hasn't gotten the ball every time he gets out there. So agreed on that. I think he gets a little uptick here. And I don't know, he's not a big touchdown guy because for some reason they get down in the red zone, they do something different for the last 2 years. Last year it was a whole lot of Cordero Patterson.
Yeah.
This year I think they'll be looking for Bijan to get more touchdowns. But he can get you down there to the red zone. So I got Pitts.
I think didn't I go Fergalicious here?
Yeah, of course you did.
Yeah. My boy. Nah, hey. I like Ferguson, to be honest. I feel like
nice.
Points.
Well, so this guy just he's not getting targeted enough on this offense, and that's why I got him in fantasy, is because I felt like his ceiling hasn't been unlocked. When they gave Michael Gallup 10 targets that week against the Chargers and gave Jake 1, that made me so furious, dude. Just because, like, what are we doing, man? Like, Jake has, I don't think he's dropped a ball in the last month. Like, every single target he has a reception for. So he's got some sure hands to him, and he's a good red zone threat. So I think in a game that I believe the Cowboys will win, I think that he's going to be a part of it. Him and CD, I think, are both going to have they both could have multiple touchdowns, or not. I don't know, I guess not multiple, but I think they both score. Him and CD. So just like last week.
Yeah, no, I like that play as well. I'm trying to see because Darren Waller's out. So who's the backup for the Giants?
Bellinger. Daniel
okay.
Bellinger.
Yeah, the guy that got his eye poked out by the Jags last year.
Yeah. Devin Lloyd.
Dude,
Devin
where
Lloyd
is he?
In the face.
He must be where is he? He's all the way down here?
He's been absolutely irrelevant since they signed Waller. But
there
he's
he
not
is.
bad. He's not bad. Last year he made a lot of good plays.
Yeah, he's actually not a bad. He's not a bad tight end.
Yeah,
so
he's way down there.
2.5.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you might want to change your lineup a little bit to get that guy in there and maybe get some more maybe get. Well, I'm not saying you. I'm saying the listeners. Maybe if you're looking at a little bit more value, maybe you can get a better wide receiver than the ones that we've been able to get with this lineup.
I'll show you how to get some value. We're going to defense. Hold on. We got to just scroll all the way down. Go to the very end. Go to the Giants. Yep. 2.3K.
It's like a cheat code this week.
You're literally free square. I mean, this should be a knockout.
No, you know what this smells of Vegas bullshit, dude. Like why? I want to know why. Like, why do they get to know these things that we don't get to know? Like, why is that so cheap? That makes zero sense.
They made this before all the firing happened.
It doesn't matter, in my opinion. The Giants, like, it's a decent matchup, and the Giants have been playing great defensively. So, like, why would they be? Why would a team that just held the Bills to what, 14? Why would they be the cheapest defense? Like, how is it not the Cardinals? The Cardinals are higher, right? They're more expensive.
Yeah, they are. This is the cheapest defense. The Cardinals are actually higher than Rams, Bears, and Seahawks.
That's why it's like, dude, this just smells gross. I don't like it. That's why. Did I even pick the Giants defense, or did I?
Yeah, you did.
I did. Probably because it's basically
you
free,
had to.
Yeah, it's like you have to. Yeah, they're making you.
Well, it's because you paid up for all those studs, so you need salary relief. But I will point out before Spence gives us his. There's a couple of good defenses. If you want to go the Packers route, if Stafford is out, I mean, that's not a good decision. I mean, that's a good decision right there.
Go ripping your heart out.
Yeah, until he throws 400 yards on us. The Browns, if you want to pay up, the Browns are in an elite spot at the very top at 4.2K. I hate paying up for defenses like that, but
that's the one to do.
They are in a elite spot. Same with the Saints. Like, so if DraftKings got these right, I don't know what happened with the Giants.
So weird.
They're baiting us. That's what they're doing. They're baiting us. They want everybody to play the Giants defense, and then they're gonna nuke.
Yeah, apparently, it feels like a bookie's fucking with me.
Yeah, I did pay up a little bit on defense. I think they're 3-7. Yeah. I took the Falcons defense here because they're playing against a quarterback that most people haven't heard of. First time coming out there. I just think they're going to have a lot of difficulty over there on Minnesota side of the ball, and I think the Falcons can take advantage of that. Like I said, I think I got them winning. So this is a defense that has a few playmakers on the team that have done things in the past. I think this is a game where some of those guys show up again. Your Calais Campbell's, your what's that safety over there, Jesse Bates.
Yep. AJ Terrell.
Oh, AJ Terrell, yeah. So they'll make some things happen over on that side of the ball, in my opinion, anyway. So I was comfortable paying that to go against a team where you're not really sure what you're going to get on offense for Minnesota.
Hey, Knipe, your Raiders are 3.6K, and mine are all the way down here.
Let's go, boy. You know what that means?
What?
You're fucked. I'm just kidding.
I'm probably, dude, I've lost this week. What are you talking about?
Dude, I really need it, but I don't know.
We both do, honestly. We both need it.
I had Chevy
Spence, you don't need nothing.
I had Chevy texting me, good game, after Thursday. I was like, what?
He did that. He did the same thing to me, and he ended up beating me.
I'm like, dude, shut up. Don't listen to the projections. They don't mean anything.
Well, dude, that's because Max, you had what, 40 points on Thursday Night Football? That was
and I still lost.
Yeah, that was such a good Thursday night for you.
Yeah, I didn't have 40 freaking points,
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen.
All right, I appreciate everybody in the house, man. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Y'all have a fun Saturday. Good luck to your fantasy teams.
Real quick, are we coming over to your house for the morning games, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll
go.
Of course. All right, man.
Later, bro.
Y'all have a good, fun weekend. Have fun on Sunday. Good luck to your teams, your fantasy teams, your DraftKings, your Yahoo, your FanDuel, everything you're doing, man. Just have fun and good luck. Packers need it. My fantasy team needs it. My bankroll and DraftKings needs it. So, I mean, yeah. So, appreciate you, Spence.
Enjoy it while it's here. Enjoy it while it's here. Football is halfway through. We're winding down in the season already. So, enjoy it while it's here.
Halfway through.
Every little bit of excitement you can get and run with it.
All right, y'all. It's always low. Peace. Chicken grease on Max Coverage TV. Thanks for tuning in. See y'all on Monday. I'm out of here. Peace.